What's up, peeps? What a world we live in. I'm not even gonna hold them up. Jump straight into this one. Um, Not real big on speaking on a lot of political stuff or racial topics. I tend to just be quiet. But I think we're at a point to where none of us can be quiet anymore. I'm not saying to be hostile, indignant, disrespectful. That's not what I'm saying. But we gonna have to start speaking up. It's it's not new what we're seeing. That's a sad thing. But due to cell phones, we're seeing it more often. So it seems as though it's happening more often. But it's been happening. I'm 42. It's been happening way longer than that. Um, we had like two racial incidents in a matter of I don't know if it was hours or even days. I don't know, but they came across my timeline. The first one was with the Minneapolis police, and thankfully it was a still shot. It wasn't the actual video footage, but just the still shot. Man, it infuriated me, which was kind of caught me off guard because I won't say I'm numb to it, but I I've had a tendency to turn my emotions off, and but this one it kind of stirs something up. And then as I'm scrolling, I see another video, and I didn't even watch it. I ain't want to. I was already bothered by the first photo of the previous incident. So a friend of mine went ahead and gave me the details on that. I mean, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. Like I said, I used to turn my emotions off, and sometimes I'll even make excuses because some of the stuff nobody like. All right, let me clear this up. Nobody deserves death. That is that is up to God to determine who deserves death. Nobody deserves, especially by no police officer or any kind of law enforcement. Nobody deserves to be beaten. I don't care. I mean, low key, don't care what they did. You know what I'm saying? You are a person of law. You are getting paid to protect and serve. Now, I understand, hostile situations, you know, uh, active shooters, things like that. You got to take action. I get it. I get that. But I'm speaking on situations, uh, just you're in handcuffs. I mean, come on, man. How much of a threat to your life am I? And is a person while they are in handcuffs. Once that individual is in handcuffs, all assault, all physicalness needs to just cease and desist. Um, all of the other stuff that's happened over the years, the reaching for the phones, the reaching in the pocket, you know, I'm gonna speak on something I think that will help us gather an understanding, and hopefully later in after that I'll speak on what I think is a solution. So as I said, at one is the thing about it, as far as me with my perspective and all this, I am an army vet, so I've been trained, for wartime situations. And then after I got out, man, this is like years. I actually wanted to be a police officer. I actually applied to Louisiana State Trooper. Uh, I didn't get accepted at all. I don't think my application made it up. And by then I had moved to Texas, and I actually applied for DPS. I sent my application in. Hey, they got back with me. I actually had an in-house interview, and I didn't make it. Why? I had bad credit. Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't make it. I had bad credit. They felt as though I would try to supplement my income by power or authority or something to that nature. So that I don't just speak on this stuff just willy nilly. No, I actually try to see things. It's a gift that God has given me to try to see things from both sides. Because I think as if, what if I'm an officer? Because as a state trooper, you're out there on the highway, you're out there on stretches where you have no backup. So you have to be thoroughly trained and thoroughly aware and conscious and, all these things to perform your job to the utmost of your ability for your safety and for everyone else's. I even myself, I've had situations with the police. Not a whole lot, like many. I can remember one. Uh, it was in Louisiana. I was with a friend of mine. We weren't doing anything. Came through a part of the town where it was kind of known for speed traps or whatever. I don't know if I was speeding or not. Speed limit was 35, so they get kind of finicky in that area. And my homie was with me. He was younger than me, and he was upset. And so I was telling him, bro, hey, just chill out. You know what I'm saying? No sudden moves. Just be cool. Just be quiet. And he was kind of trying to, I ain't gonna say he was ramping up, but he was upset. And so they ended up asking us to step out the car. You know what I'm saying? But nothing really transpired. We ain't had nothing on us because I don't do nothing. And they did search me. They did search my car. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing. We walked away from that. I mean, can we say that is because of color of our skin? 9 times out of 10, yeah. And then another situation I had was I was dead left to the wrong for this. And this could have been, I really could probably have been a statistic, but God was on my side. Um, and I'm gonna be blunt and I'm gonna be open and honest about this situation. I was in Louisiana again. It was late. I was leaving a party. I had my girlfriend with me. Uh, I hadn't been back to this area in a long time, and so I was trying to take a back road to get somewhere because I was drunk, and so I made a turn, and then I missed another turn. It's late, no traffic out here. We out in, what I'm saying, we in the country, and there's no traffic out here. And so I go up the road and I swing a U-turn. I swear, it seemed as though every cop that was in that area was there and all lights lit up. So I pull over. My girlfriend, prior to this, we had been arguing. So I they pull up. I let all the windows down. I pop some gum in my mouth, you know, and they come up to this car and they ask me some questions and they see her. And so then they asked me to step out the car. When they asked me to step out, they asked her to step out. And so they had to start to do the sobriety test on me, walk the line and all of that. Did all that, and they said, "Sir, go back to stand by your car." So I was standing by my car, my windows down. At that time, I still smoked. And so I'm sitting there waiting. They're questioning my girlfriend just on the other side of the car. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not worried about nothing. So I reach in the car to get a cigarette, and they drew down on me. All of them. All the ones that were on my side, and even the one on the other side by her, they drew down on me. And a lot of people would say, they was wrong, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I kind of disagree. I was in the wrong. I should have been aware that they are in a heightened situation. They don't know what I was reaching for in that car. And only by the grace of God did nobody pull trigger. My girlfriend starts bawling and everything, but I ended up going to jail, ended up getting charged for a DUI, whatever the case may be, by the grace of God, and didn't go on my record. I'm still a truck driver till this day. Thank you, Jesus. But my point of all that, as I already just said, was I was in the wrong. I wasn't being aware of what was going on. Now I ain't saying that all these other situations that the person that was stopped was in the wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, no matter your color, real talk, we have to be aware of what we're doing when we get stopped. I've seen so many videos of white people, white women get pulled over, and they just go left, and the cop doesn't say anything. And as I said, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get to something that's gonna speak on these two topics. I hope I can remember how to tie them back in. That's my experience with the police. Um, Now, we all want change, and there are some things that I truly feel that we can do to help start to incite this change. I ain't nobody. I mean, if this video can touch the right people, get in the right hands, or whatever the case may be, if somebody can repeat it and it work up, hey, great. That's what this is about. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm at a point where I can no longer just keep quiet. I gotta say something, but there's a right way to say something, there's a wrong way. But a couple things that I think that we can start doing. One, black people, we gotta start holding each other accountable. Just like I said earlier, I reached in that when I got pulled over, I reached in the car and I put myself and my girl and all them cops in a bad situation because of my decision. Because I was not aware of the threat that I was posing to them. Like I said, you're like a threat. Hold on, it's coming. I'm working up to that part. I keep repeating, telling you I'm getting to it. I'm coming to it. And yeah, cops killing us is wrong, legit. Us killing each other ain't no better. Unpopular opinion. We can. How can we complain? How can we be so upset when they do it, but we do it too? As much as a fuss as we make about them, we should also do the same thing when we hear about another one of us killing another one of us. And so that goes back to the first one. We need to start holding each other accountable, you know, um, and that's part of it. Stop killing each other. Start valuing each other's life. That forces others to see that we respect each other. Because once we start respecting each other, then we gotta, we are in the right of wanting and making others respect us. I mean, me come up with an analogy. I'm good with those. How can I be upset about you calling me an alcoholic, but every time you see me, I got a beer in my hand? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, but if I stop drinking, I stop acting with alcoholic ways, then when you call me an alcoholic, then I have the, I ain't gonna say the right, but that it fits the flow of the conversation. I have the right to be upset with you because that's not what I am. So stop killing each other. Start respecting each other. You know what I'm saying? If you got beef with somebody, man, I'm legit old school. Box it out. And I think this is the big one. This is it. This is what I've been saying I'm gonna get to. The media has to stop supporting negative stereotypes of black people. I'm talking like from the movies, the books, everything. Because what happens is we watch movies and you see certain black characters that act a certain way, and then you hear music and it talk about certain things, and it sort of brainwashes non-blacks to think that this is how a black person acts, because you hear it so often, all the time. And then now, because of social media, I'm hearing this rap music, and or whatever kind of music it is, and they're saying whatever it is. Then I see an incident on Facebook, it supports it. So like, oh damn, they really do act like that. Wow. No, that's what I'm saying. So media don't help this. Filmmakers don't help this. Musicians don't help this at all. It actually makes the situation worse. And I get it. As far as musician goes and rappers, they are only talking about what they know, what they have seen. I get that. And I also know that some record labels only let their artists speak about certain things. I have read articles about rappers wanting to not rap about something, but they're like, no, you have an audience. We need to keep feeding the audience this because it's making us money. That's real talk. Google it. So that's it, man. Because, like I said, when I had my situation, when I reached in that car, like I said, think about this. All these officers, they've had interactions with black people. They're watching TV. They see how black people act, and they see how they're portrayed, and how they're portrayed to act. So when they get in these situations, that's all they have to reflect on. I guarantee you, not many of them. They probably got one or two black friends, like legit. They don't enter. They probably not interacting with a black person each and every day to know, to not feel threatened. But they watch TV and they listen to music, and that's what they hear, is that black people are violent and threatening individuals. So it's stuck in their head. And this one right here, it goes to all of us black people, including myself. Straight up, we gotta stop saying the N word. I know it's part of my vocabulary when I'm amongst my friends and my family. I don't say it around white people. I have non-black friends that say it, and it took a long time for it to not sting when they would say it. And I would want to say something to them about saying it, but I knew what their response would be, and it would be, y'all say it to each other. And I don't I don't really care if we say it to each other. I mean, I think some things just are. That's why I say right now, black people need to stop saying it in public. We need to stop saying it in songs. We need to stop saying it in movies. So therefore, it can start to be taken away, because a friend of mine was saying that, it only has power if you react to it. I I understand that, but at the same time I disagree with that, because that word has been around so long, and that word started from something so harsh and so bad. So it's really hard for it to just all of a sudden magically lose its power because we're not reacting to it. No, people know what that word means, and they know how that word affects somebody when they say it. And be it that it's the ER or the A, you know what I'm saying? If it's not, it doesn't need to be said in public. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. And I think that would really start to help, because, like I said, it goes back to when we black people start respecting each other, start showing respect to each other, then that makes the other races to have to respect us too. If we out here just wilding out and disrespecting each other, like I said, man, how can we really force these people to respect us? Like, for real. So that's what black people can do. White people, what can y'all do? Y'all can actually do a lot. Y'all can check y'all white friends that's out here wilding out, straight up. Because that individual that had his knee in Buddy neck, the individuals that pulled the trigger on all those other shootings, all those other killings, all those other beatings, they have family members and friends. And I'm pretty sure their whole circle was not racist. I'm pretty sure there was somebody in their circle that could have called them out, that could have been a voice of reason to them. Hey, man, let me truly holler at you about the way you getting down. That's how this is going to help. I've spoken to 2 individuals since these incidents, and I've seen them speak out. Now, that's cool that they're speaking out in public, and I applaud them for it, and I thank them for it. But it's going to have to go further to where they speak personally. And one of them, when I was speaking to, they was asking me, like, how? And it's going to be difficult because the thing about it is we as people don't like to be called on our shit. When we mess up or we do something that we don't think is wrong and then somebody tries to confront us and be like, hey, man, you really shouldn't do that. That's confrontation. And most of us don't like confrontation. We run from it. But it's coming to a point in life where some things are worth it. And the way that we do this is we got to do it in love, with all things. That's the thing about confrontation. That's the thing about setting boundaries. That's basically what this is, setting boundaries. And you got to do it in love. You don't do it out of anger. You don't do it out of animosity. You do it out of 100% of love and care. Because you do. You're doing it because you care. You care about that person and you care about the other people. All right. And to add to that, this really isn't, I won't say this is white people. This is something that we all need to start doing so that this can happen. I had a friend of mine that was going through the police academy back in East Texas several years ago. And some of the things that they were telling me that they were teaching them is basically what we are seeing played out in these videos. Basically, the way that they teach law enforcement, be it the police or even prison guards, is to view people as cattle. And you herd them and you move them along with the mentality that they're cattle, not that they're people. That's a bad thing. That's if you think about that and you think about these situations that have transpired, and then like if you go to events and you could see it. You could see it very vividly in how they acted. That's how they were trained. To not view us as people, but to view us as animals. That's got to stop. It's crazy because I just found out. I cannot remember what country it is, but there is a country where their police officers do not wear guns. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, to us, that's crazy. How could you not carry a gun? In America, that's just, why would you not carry a gun? Even nowadays, citizens, they want to carry a gun. Why? Because everybody feels threatened. But we know in order for the police to be trained better, then what we have to do, we have to start voting. We have to start voting on senates. We have to start voting on house seats. We got to start voting on judges, DAs, police chiefs, all of that. We got to hit the polls. We have to educate ourselves about the policies, the propositions, the people that's running, what they're running for. We got to do better on the voting tip, man, because we complain so much. But how many of us are really hitting the polls? And then at that, we complain, and then when we vote, we only vote based upon a party line. Screw that. If it was up to me, if I could change anything in the government, I'd do away with the Democratic and Republican Party. That right there it divides the country. We're supposed to be United States of America. I understand you got each individual state and we're supposed to come together. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have a Democrat and a Republican, and just because I'm red or blue, that's how I vote. I may not agree with what my party is talking about, so I'm going to still vote with them because I've been riding with them for the last 10 years. No. That's got to go away, man. We got to move away from that. I truly think my generation and younger generations can be the ones to change. I hope there is change coming in that area right there, because that's just divides us. I think that is one of the main thing that keeps us separated as a people. I've said this to people before, that we need to limit that we need to put limits on the terms in the Senate and the House. Well, I actually just Googled it right before I did this video, and I can't remember. One has 2 year term limits. The other one has six-year term limits. So there actually are limits, but we don't hit the polls. So they just sit in there. They stay in the stay in the seat. They stay in the seat, and they die in the seat. Then they pass it on to a family member, or a close friend with the same mindset. We got to hit the polls, y'all. And one last thing on this right here before I get up out of here: the Electoral College. Wow, I was really young when I found out about the Electoral College, and I was just awed. How in the world is it still in existence today? When the Union was founded hundreds of years ago, I kind of understand it, but right now makes no sense. How in the world can a president win? Yeah, what is it? Lose the popular vote. Yeah, lose the popular vote. Lose the masses. The popular vote is 1 for 1. That means you vote, I vote, he vote, she vote. That's 4 votes, right? You got 4 votes for one individual, right? They lose the popular vote, but win the electoral vote, and that wins them the election. Makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't care who. I don't. You can email me and explain it to me. You can call me and explain it to you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it makes no sense to me. I understand it that each state is allotted so many votes. I get that, but that's stupid. If every vote is supposed to count, every vote should count. That's all that matters. If we want to sit there and get people to the polls, then we need to get people to the polls, and it's 1 vote, 1 person. Tally them up. That's who wins the election. Well, y'all, that's basically it, man. Um, all that's my unpopular opinion. Um, how does all this tie back to Christ? I've been trying to figure it out. What I see in all this, though, man, is just we supposed to love each other. We're supposed to do our part in society. I mean, that's the accountability. That's what the whole Christianity walk is about. It's about it's not about me. It's about you. It says that I'm supposed to love myself and love my brother as I love myself. Police brutality is not that. Not going to the polls and voting is not that. I mean, everything that I have talked about, the opposite of it is just selfishness. That's it. We have to stop being selfish people. I know I've been seeing the I've been seeing the Karen memes and videos quite lately, and that's basically what a lot of us are. I mean, we don't think we are, but we're Karen. All we're worried about is ourselves. Just because we ain't grabbing our phone calling for the manager, that don't mean it. But a lot of us are Karen deep inside because we're just focused on ourselves. But if we get out of self and start caring about the next person the way God intended us to do, we can make a change in this world. We really can. So I admonish y'all. I love y'all. I encourage y'all, man. Open your eyes, open your mouths. I'm not saying run tail out on everything, you know what I'm saying? Run up on everybody. Remember, this is all to be done in love. No hostility, no beef at all. You know what I'm saying? Grab somebody, pull them to say, hey, man, I really care about you. Hey, let me talk to you about this right here. That's how we supposed to do it, man. So let me get up off this thing, and yeah, as always, uh like, share, subscribe. Be on the lookout for another podcast episode. Yeah, share this with your family, share it with your friends. You got questions or you have ideas for topics, hit my Facebook, hit me a message on Facebook. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.